Today I'm going to share a really simple thing that therapy has taught me, which I think was extremely life changing in my life, and how, and I won't even tell you puzzles, I will directly jump into it. It is five languages of love that you can speak to yourself. You must have heard of five languages of love, which is um, words of affirmations, service, quality time, physical affection, and gifts. You might wonder, it is something that lovers do. That's how lovers communicate. And this is between lovers. But there's a thing that I've realized in my life that whatever we expect of others, we can meet through our own self. When I say that, I'm not kidding. It's really true that you can meet your own needs. Let's when someone describes there are five languages of love, that means that people feel love in five different ways. They're categorized into five different things, and the names also suggest by itself what they actually mean. So I'm not going to explain those things, but I'm going to tell you how I met my needs using these languages of love, although it seemed not so exciting or common in life, right? So the first one is gifts. I always thought that I'm not a gift person, but I would like gifts sometimes. I generally do not like gifts because people don't really understand what I need and they give me something. Now I don't know what to do with it. And sometimes what happens is I do not like gifts because they have bought me something, but I point out 100 things that are wrong with it. So I really do not prefer getting gifts. Okay, so, how I met this need of mine. There are so many inhibitions when I go to market and I have to buy a gift for myself, right? Some of the things that come to my mind are, hey, why do you need this thing? And it's too costly, you cannot buy it. And there's no use, you'll use it for some time and leave it. So, don't buy it. So I've learned this thing. I read this book. So I don't recall the book's name. It's called Artist by Heart, something like that. I'm not sure, but I'll get back to it knowing the book's name. So it says your inner child wants you to gift it something. Gifts are not just for the sake of gifting. Your heart desires something and it's your job to make someone heard about it or talk about it so that you can receive it as gift. It is a true form of showing love. So what you could do is, whenever you sense resistance towards you buying yourself anything, it could be like Swiggying something or Zomatoing something, do that for yourself. It's really important that you do that for yourself, because if you don't gift yourself, who will? And okay, you might ask your friends to do that and they may or might not do that for you, and if you're blessed with amazing friends, good for you. But you, at any time, you should be capable of gifting yourself things that you really really want. That's the most beautiful thing that you would do for yourself, and I highly recommend doing that. Okay, so we have covered gifts. So let's say words of affirmations. So I was the kind of girl who would expect my partner to tell me I love you multiple times a day. And my partners would come to me and be like, hey, why do I need to say it again and again? what's the need, and they would not do it because they have 100 different things to do. Not that they didn't love me, but like um they just didn't want to do it. And I do understand, like, people we love have other things to do, and they will do things as we ask them, like, hey, can you say I love you to me? And that's pretty simple, and anybody can do that. But sometimes not all our expectations are met. And in those times when your heart's so broken, remember that there are always other people who will do that for you. First is that. Second thing is that you can do that to yourself. You can simply tell yourself, hey Komal, I love you. I really love you. And I can say it as much, many times as you want. And that's just given. And you don't have to ask for it. Anytime you need it, I'm going to say it. Or whatever you need for that matter. It's just not, I love you. I mean, it could be like, I'm here for you. And I'm going to be with you. I believe in you. You can do this. And whatnot. There are 100 different things that you could say to yourself, that you feel loved. You are enough. You're divine. Everybody loves you. You're so beautiful. You're so expressive. There's so many things that you could say to yourself. And one thing that I love to do is, while I was manifesting my own partner, I used words of affirmations because it's my strongest love language. And every time I go to sleep, I would say, I love you, I'll take care of you, and I'll be here for you, as if that person is already there. And it was also to myself because I wanted to hear those things. And when he actually appeared, he said those exact same words because I was saying it to myself. I believed in my own my own saying so much that it also showed up externally in my world. So that is something that you could do for yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you that they love you. Love yourself before anybody else does. So okay, and okay, let's move on to the next one. Words of affirmation is a very, very good one, and I personally feel it in depth because I have experienced a lot of lack of word of affirmation in my family. They have mostly communicated through service. So let's come to service now. So service is when you service, as in, I could explain service to you. Like, for example, my parents expression of love or service to me, they would help me out, they would help me do my homework, they would help me do multiple things in the house. They take care of me basically. They may make me food, send me to school, help me read, if I need anything they would buy me that. So there's so many things that they would help me in, right? So that's service basically. So I think for me, service showed up the most when I felt helpless, when I felt like nobody really helps me and I'm all alone. But I think even if nobody helps you, there's a part of you that can like rise and it can help you out. I mean, there are so many times when I felt like, hey, this is not working out, nothing's gonna happen, nobody's going to help me. And when I helped myself out, everyone came out to help me. The first tip is to like help yourself. For example, if you are depressed as fuck, but when you reach out to a friend, that also means that you have helped yourself. You have accompanied yourself to go to a friend and ask for help. So that's beautiful. And to get help, you need to help yourself first. So service is that. And be it assignments, be it going to market and getting something, so that's the service you do to yourself. And anything that helps you live a beautiful life, that you do for a loved one, like you would buy them groceries or whatever that they need in their life. If you do that to yourself, that's considered as service. And that's beautiful if you can do that on my own, and it is possible. First, help yourself, service yourself to be able to service others. Okay, let's jump on to the third one, quality time. Quality time, though, I think that it is something that we think is a group activity, or like at least two people activity, right? But with time I've realized that I need to stand up for myself and be there for myself. um, Quality time is not only with the people you love with, is also with yourself. Like, have you noticed when you are just living your life and then suddenly you need like a break where you're just all alone, even if you're like super extroverted or like whatnot, you love hanging out with your friends, but you need that space. I feel that all the time when I'm with people, like I just need my space. I think it's the time when I am giving myself quality time. And the best thing to have quality time is to journal. Like, like when I meet someone new, I like to ask them questions and like they answer me, and I really get stimulated by that. So sometimes I feel like somebody should come to me and ask me some questions. But then nobody does that. But but the thing with journaling is that I can carve it the way I want. I can ask myself questions. I can just speak as much as I want. I can listen to myself. What not? I mean, I can just sit and watch the trees, and even that counts because that's also spending time with yourself. And losing connection with yourself is one of the dangerous things that you can do. And you will see if you're someone like me, you will feel it very deeply, right? So, yeah, like just sit with yourself once in a while. And number one thing that has helped me is the journaling every day. I do journal every day, and it gives me that time that I crave with myself, and nobody can steal that from me. So that is my way of showing love to myself. um, you would find out something that works for you, like maybe sitting in the nature, going to a park and playing with the kids, maybe your quality time with yourself. So it could be anything that you define it to be. And the last one is physical affection. So I feel like it is completely strange for anyone to imagine hugging themselves, but I think as I was in this self-love journey and all of that, I've literally learned to hug myself and hold myself when I really need it. I mean, there has been a time, I mean, I grew up in a family where people would not hug you, but it's a normal form of showing affection, and there's nothing to be get disgusted by. And in my family nobody did that. When I started to do that as an adult, they kind of like were creeped out, but I was adamant I'm going to teach them how to hug each other. So I started with my mom. I started to hug her, and she was like, oh, this, that. But then I'd hold her even tightly when she did that. And it took a lot of healing to even be able to do that, because there's a lot of rejection and you feel like you're not good enough to hug them. So you need to do some inner work, maybe, because not everyone has a great relationship with their parents. First you might want to fix that, or maybe find friends who you can hug, right? So I started to hug them, and then they were okay with it, and it was nice. So I was a kid who would not receive physical affection so easily. So I used to hug myself, and this is how you do it, and it does not feel awkward at all. And I truly feel my own hug, to be honest. And this is how I really, really feel. Why did I bother to like tell you all of these things? Because the only thing is that I think in most therapy sessions, I went to them, ranting about how things are going wrong with me, and how this person did not give me hugs, or did not give me roses, or did not buy me gifts, did not spend quality time with me, and whatnot. The thing is, the Indian cinema has taught me that love is supposed to be that way. The other person does so many amazing things to you, and you are like this happy, happy person who receives all of that. But the truth is, not every time all your needs are met, and it can be heartbreaking. And with so many heartbreaks, I've learned that You truly need to get up and love yourself. And it's easier said than done, because nobody teaches you this. Nobody is teaching you this. Nobody is teaching you. Why? I don't understand. They're teaching you algebra, they're teaching you what not, but not this. This is so important, extremely important for hypersensitive people, and it's extremely important for women who don't know how to love themselves. They don't know their value, and they just date some crappy guys and think that nobody loves them, and there's something wrong in them, what not. And then finally, after 3 4 breakups, they decide that, hey, I'm gonna love myself, and finally someone good shows up in their life, right? So I don't want such things to happen. So if you want to stay away from such things like that, follow my channel, because I will talk about these things more. And I just want more and more women to know this, because I've suffered a lot myself, and I cannot see it happen to others. And trust me on this, when you learn to meet your own needs, it's not going to be easy, I'll tell you that. Saying I love you to yourself, it might seem like, what is this? I get more excited when others say it, but I think it's in the process of feeling it and saying it to yourself. And whatever service you do, or spending quality time with yourself, feel as if somebody is doing that to you, like someone you love is already there and they're loving you, and be that person for yourself. And when you do that, things will come around for you for sure. um, but if not, you at least have yourself. I'm not saying by any means that you need to stop expecting from others, but I'm just saying that when you stop expecting from others, and like start giving it to yourself, when others give it to you, you're more accepting of it, you're more grateful to it, because you've already given it to yourself. Receiving more of that feels really, really good. And when you're in the lack of it, when somebody gives it to you, you even tend to repel it, right? So don't do that. Love yourself. And these are 5 ways you could show love to yourself. um, so you could like split this into habits in your daily life, and it can turn out to be really beautiful. For example, I journal, I meditate, I buy myself food online, I buy myself flowers. It's really awkward. You go to the flower person and be like, भैया मुझे ये चाहिए, and then you give it to yourself. Trust me, I mean, it's not as magical as you see it in the Indian cinema, but then it's truly, once you do it, you feel like, hey, I can do this for myself, and it's completely life changing. It is life changing. Don't even, if you know manifestation, when you give something yourself abundantly, it shows up in your surrounding too. But apart from that, logically speaking, don't get bothered by how the world is treating you. Treat yourself with love. Begin with that. No matter what, you're not going to let others decide your worth. You're going to decide your own worth, and teach your men to treat you with that level of love, respect, and ask. First, you love yourself with those 5 love languages. First, you learn what you like and what you don't like. Understand yourself, and then tell them, hey, this is something that I like and I want. If you don't know yourself, how can you explain yourself to others? You cannot expect movie like things in real life if you're not ready to give it to yourself first, right? And if somebody is not giving that to you, like, just don't bother to go with them. Like, for serious, do not do that. You deserve more than that. So here are the 5 love languages that you can speak to yourself and feel like a total goddamn queen. I love you so much for watching this, and it's been 20 minutes. I don't know how you're gonna watch this, but I am so happy that I shared this with you. Please go and love yourself, because I'll be posting more videos like this to be reminding you to love yourself. And please follow this channel if you like this video. I'll be making more of this, and if I don't, you can not unsubscribe to me, that's okay. And if you liked it, please tell me in the comments that you liked it. I'd really love to hear what you'd say about this. All the best, girlies. I love you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.